There I went. Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend so far. It is snowing here. Snowing, and it has not really stopped. Thankfully, it's not really sticking, but it's still snowing, right? So, who do I see you? Molly, Jackie, Rainbow, Sparkle, Blue Eyes, Emmy, Tina Marie, Debbie, Georgette. Let's see here. Bonnie, Vintage, I see you. Rue, Amanda, Kim. Good to see everybody. Yes, it is. Waterboarding is sick in the head. This sounds horrendous. Not even sure if I can listen to this. It is horrible. And to be honest with you, um, I needed to, I just couldn't do, like, I just couldn't research anymore today with Summer Wells. That may sound horrible, but I just needed a break from, it's not really the case. It's just the YouTube part of it. You know what I mean? It's a lot sometimes. Um, Thank you, Rachel. Hope you are too. And thank you, Lexi. Sometimes the magnitude of these cases really get to you and you just need a break sometimes. I need to hold on one second. I just need to fix something in the chat here. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So I'm going to talk about two different cases today. They are. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So I'm going to talk about two different cases today. They are. Sorry, they're equally horrendous. Mary, stop showing off. Okay. Just kidding. Thank you, Mary. I'm happy for you. Okay, one sec. My kids are absolutely crazy right now. I apologize. So, oh my God. 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, we're oh my kids. Mama, please get them. Oh my God. I'm going to have a stroke in a minute, probably. I have a calming voice. I need a calming voice right now. But we're going to talk about a case out of Arizona. And this is the one with the Arizona couple tries they're accused of waterboarding and sexually abusing their daughter, which is just absolutely insanity. The world's going crazy. I do plan on. I'm actually researching right now how the victims of abuse has increased since the lockdowns and everything, and I am going to present that hopefully shortly. And it's still on the rise. Even though things are opening up, it's still there. So a lot of people have asked me what the waterboarding is, and I'm going to show you guys, will show you a definition of that. So sorry I have to show this, but waterboarding, also called water torture, simulates drowning, interrupted drowning, and controlled drowning. A method of torture in which water is poured onto the nose and mouth of a victim who lies on their back on an inclined platform with his feet above his head. And that is what it is. So basically, you're on your back and they throw water on your face for your nose and your mouth, and you literally feel like you're drowning. But you're technically not. In some cases, they will actually, like if you're out at sea or something, they will dunk you underwater and then like for a certain amount of time, and it's just a very horrific thing that it's just insanity, to be honest with you. So I'm going to let me see, show you guys this. So here's the couple that in my opinion probably need. Yep, Mountain Girl. Yep. Yes, this did allegedly, you know, happen to some, like Guantanamo, you know what? But that's definitely another story. Arizona couple accused of waterboarding and abuse their daughter. And I'm going to show you guys some video and about where they live and all of that shortly. A couple was abused this week from allegedly physically, mentally, and abusing a child over a span of several months. According to the Arizona Republic, in December 2021, the Office of Child Welfare removed the female child from her mother, 26-year-old Chloe Sargent, and her stepfather, 39-year-old Keloa Wimbish, after authorities received reports of abuse from a third party. The child reportedly suffered from chronic malnutrition and severe injuries caused by abuse. According to the Arizona Republic, some of those injuries include 12 broken bones. 12 broken bones. They need every bone in their body broken, in my opinion. These people who did this to a child. A laceration on her leg that exposed her shin bone. Abrasions, bruises, possible burns, and multiple infected injuries that went untreated. Upon further investigation, the child reportedly told investigators she had been hit with a machete, a crowbar, a hammer all over her body. She was allegedly punched in the face from both her dad and the mom. The child was also held underwater, according to KPNX TV. The child told authorities The suspect poured alcohol on her and lit her on fire, lacerated her finger, choked her, the Arizona Republic reports. Additionally, Wimbish allegedly ordered the juvenile to inappropriately touch him. In an initial interview, the child reportedly told authorities her uncle inflicted the abuse, but she later said her parents threatened her, forcing her to lie. In the interview, the victim's brother reportedly told authorities his parents had physically abused his sister multiple times. According to the Arizona Republic, Wimbish was interviewed and told authorities he did not know about the child's injuries. The mother, Sergeant, allegedly told authorities she did not know how her daughter had suffered injuries. Sergeant and Wimbish were reportedly arrested on April 5th, according to records, where they were booked into Maricopa County Jail on Wednesday, April 6th. They were each reportedly charged with one-count child abuse. Records show Wimbish was also charged with a probation violation. According to the Arizona Republic, Wimbish and Sergeant were released on a $50,000 bond and are scheduled to appear in court April 12th. How in the hell? This one pisses me. This one really gets me, guys. I'm not going to lie. How in the hell do you release them and only charge them on child abuse after you waterboard this child, you light this child on fire, 12 broken bones, lacerations, multiple infected injuries untreated, exposing her shin bone, abrasions, bruises, and other burns. Hit with a machete, a crowbar, and a hammer. I think I'm going to have to call on this and press my grievances on this one, guys. Lacerated her finger, choked her. What in the heck? And you let him out on a $50,000 bond like it's almost nothing? They should have got them with every damn charge that they could. 10 years old, yes. Wake up, world. If it's a slap on the freaking hand, I mean, I don't know the maximum Arizona charges with, child abuse, but I mean, this should have been at the, just have been, according to one of the court documents, the girl was removed from her mother and stepfather. I don't know if this is like, maybe, I don't know if, let me see here. The child told, is this her uncle and aunt, or is this, because I just got, medical examination of Phoenix Children's Hospital indicate the girl suffered from chronic malnutrition and severe injuries from child abuse, 12 broken bones, laceration on her leg, explosion or shin bone, possible burns. Okay, according to court documents, the girl was removed from her mother and stepfather by the court records in December of 2021. Okay, so this was her parents, but she had been removed from her parents in December of 2021. And still, what does CPS do? What do they do? You guessed it. It's about rejoining those families back together so they can do it again. So they can do it again. These people they're the ones that need this done to them. 10 years old, Heather. 10 years old. Insanity. Insanity. Sorry, my phone's ringing. All right, I want to show you, I just want to show you a little bit about their background history and who these people were. So, according to what looks like to be on the outside, these are very educated human beings that have a clean home, and it doesn't seem to be something that's oh crap, that's just it doesn't seem like this is something that's on Ben Hill Road, you know what I mean? So I'll show you the apartments that they lived in. Oh. Can you see that? These are the apartments that they lived in. Really nice apartments, right? They seem to be, nice. They need locked in their cell together and starved. I'm okay with that. Truthfully, I'm okay with that. This doesn't look like the Wells, right? But just because you have a nice home, a nice car, doesn't mean you're a nice parent or a nice person. Don't let it fool you. So when I looked up their, who they were, I was truthfully rather shocked about, let me see here. This is the Keola and Chloe. Okay. I'll show you their like their background as well. Keola. All right. What is it, Keola? Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not getting these two cases mixed up. That would be bad. Where's their name? Okay, Keola and Chloe. Okay, got it right. I was just making sure. All right, so here is Chloe's. She has a very good education. I was, it's rather shocking when you see this, to be honest with you. Or at least it was for me. You think these would be uneducated people, right? But look, a bachelor degree global. This was in 2020. Bachelor degree in psychology, Kaplan, 2016. Associate's degree, psychology, 96%. Graduated with a 3.96. 2014, high school GED. 2016, associate's degree, educational psychology. Graduated with a 94. 2016, associate's degree, drug and treatment specialist. Just amazing, isn't it? You would never, ever expect someone like this to to be doing what this is, right? And then I'll show you a little bit about this mofo. And if I'm correct, he has a I believe he is originally from, I want to say Hawaii, if I'm correct. But neither one of them has had criminal history, like at all. My mouse will work. He doesn't relatives, second degree, associates. Okay, no. But he's originally from let's see if he's got a link, if his LinkedIn. Okay. I'm not going to do that then. But it's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane about how people will go to the ends of the earth to harm their children. It's literally insanity anymore. Literally insanity. I want to show you guys another case. The mental abuse that child had and the physical abuse that child had to suffer was horrible. I can't even imagine, right? Thank you, Susan. I know. It's really bad. Mystic, Firefly, and Precious Chaos. Can y'all please stop? I would appreciate it. Both of you guys can email me. We're not going, this is not the room to do it in. I'm just going to tell you. But the next case that I want to tell you about, and also show you, this child didn't live. Didn't. Oh, I found his profile too as well. hold on. Let me just show you this before we get on to the next one. I forgot to. I found his Facebook profile as well. It's an older one. But nonetheless, you can tell he's like declined as far, and he is from, or it says he lives in Hawaii. Maybe he's from California, but he's lived in Hawaii. But he looks, I mean, so my kids are half Hawaiian, and he definitely looks Hawaiian to me. Can you see these? Okay, yeah. Definitely looks Hawaiian. This is from like 12 years ago. Everybody has that mirror. I always love reading the comments from like years ago. Seriously, bro, really? You have nothing better to do this morning like train? That's how I roll, LOL, JT style. Besides, my homies over at Surf Classic have a brother up with some sick head attire, whatever that means. But you know, he's a kid here. There's a big age difference between the two. But he looks like he's you know, this looks like family. So yeah, thought y'all might be interested in that. But the next case, sadly, is not as lucky. We're going to show some videos on this as well. This woman is psycho, in my opinion. Literally psycho. Just the way she looks. Mom accused of killing son, trying to cut her own heart, was allegedly upset over Ukraine war. You heard that right. She was upset over the Ukraine war. Now, we're all upset over the Ukraine war. The world is. It's all depressing. But we have to understand that because someone says they are upset with the Ukraine war, first of all, doesn't give them an excuse to do whatever they said, right? That they were upset with. Second of all, it's not just that they were upset with the Ukraine war, it is that they are just upset. They're mentally unstable. There has to be something more than just being upset over the Ukraine war. Something deeper has to be going on there. There was in Florida yesterday of a 9-year-old boy who his, good Lord, I'm so sorry. Guess she wasn't successful when this happened in prison with a self-made scalpel. Yeah, well, I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to show you guys some video clips and more information. And to be honest with you, she's not one that you would think would be, you know, lived in a, you know, shack or whatever, you would. She just seems like a middle class, mom. But as you'll see, it goes a little deeper than that. A 41-year-old woman is accused of killing her 8-year-old son and trying to kill her 11-year-old son after she allegedly became more agitated and concerned following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. According to the Sheboygan Falls Police Department, on March 30th at approximately 5 p.m., officers responded to a call at 1110 Plank Trail Lane regarding a woman who had, quote, assaulted her 8-year-old male child, end quote. In their apartment, the juvenile's father reportedly started life-saving measurements on the little boy before police and other EMS officials arrived. The 8-year-old was transported to St. Nicholas Hospital in critical condition, and the mother was also taken to the hospital for self-inflicted wounds. The victim, Olivia Hitchcock, died April 1 at the Sheboygan Police Department said in the follow-up statement. Olivia's mother has been charged with first-degree intentional homicide and attempted intentional homicide. WBAY TV identified the suspect as Natalia Hitchcock. In the days leading up to Oliver's death, Hitchcock allegedly talked to her husband about buying survival gear, including knives and guns. According to the criminal complaint cited by WBAY, officers found Oliver, quote, pale white and bluish in color, end quote. When they got to the apartment, he reportedly had bruising on his neck, quote, which appeared to have been from fingers or hands, end quote. Oliver's brother reportedly told his father that Oliver was dead, and his father ran and performed CPR on the little boy. The complaint says Natalia walked around the apartment holding a knife, quote, dazed, saying she was going to kill everyone, end quote. Her husband reportedly grabbed 2 knives from her, WITI TV reports. She was trying to, quote, cut out her heart with one of her knives. Hitchcock, who is Russian, she's Russian, reportedly became increasingly concerned as the war in Ukraine escalated and continued. WITI, which also cites the criminal complaint, says Hitchcock believed the, quote, Russian government was going to take her children and abuse them, end quote. And that people, quote, looked at her as a Russian spy, end quote. There had to be, in my opinion, some mental illness here. According to the complaint cited by WITI, Hitchcock, quote, did not want her kids to be abused, end quote. If she killed her, she allegedly wanted to, quote, end Oliver's suffering with my hands, end quote. At the time of her arrest, Hitchcock allegedly had a, quote, critical amount of Tylenol in her system. So she took a lot of Tylenol. Maybe that was another means of taking herself out. According to WBAY, Hitchcock allegedly tried, listen to this, drowning her son in their bathtub. The boy reportedly told investigators his mom told him to put his head under the water, and at one point it felt, quote, like her whole body was pushing him down, end quote. He reportedly got out of the bath and later saw his mother in the kitchen wielding a large knife. When Hitchcock learned that Oliver died, she allegedly said, quote, "I guess I accomplished what I set out to do," end quote. When Hitchcock learned that Oliver died, oh, hold on, I already read that one. In a video from her first court appearance, Hitchcock turns around and says, "I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened," as she exits the courtroom. She's being held on a $1 million bail. Yeah. It's insane. So I want to show you a little bit of video. First, I'll show you the let me find it. Actually, I mean, how does her husband feel about this? Do you know what I mean? And did he not realize she was under this much stress? You would think being married to someone when they're under that much stress, you would kind of know, if they've kind of threatened to, or they've tried to drown your child before, you would think you would call someone. Kind of makes sense, right? Alaska Bush mom. If she was from Russia and left on asylum, maybe she was triggered at the word PTSD. Absolutely. It's absolutely possible. And, just living probably in Russia where you can't have certain freedoms, it's basically, even though they call themselves a democracy, it's basically a dictatorship, in my opinion. But, I can't imagine, as someone that's always lived in the free world, what it's like to not have those freedoms. Do you know how badly she was able to harm herself trying to cut her heart out? I hope she gets a out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she will. She will, for sure. I mean, I think maybe the daily stresses of life, and just stresses on top of that, and maybe a little mental illness, right? And maybe some PTSD to throw into that from, maybe being from Russia. It could be something, right? All right, this is Fox 6. Let me play this for you.
Sheboygan Falls woman accused of killing her 8-year-old boy.
She says she does not know what happened. Fox 6's Angelica Sanchez live for us outside of the courthouse, where bond was set at $1 million. Angie?
That's right, guys, and cameras were rolling as the Sheboygan Falls mother was trying to speak to her family inside the courthouse. Now, in her statement to police, she admitted to suffocating her 8-year-old son, and she's also accused of trying to drown her other child. A witness told police the war between Russia and Ukraine is affecting her mental health. Before a deputy escorted her away, 41-year-old Natalia Hitchcock tried to speak to her family.
Can I have the complaint on that?
She's now charged with first-degree intentional homicide for the death of her 8-year-old son, Oliver Hitchcock. She's also accused of first-degree attempted homicide. Prosecutors say she tried to kill her other son.
We're talking about crimes of absolute violence.
On March March 30th, police responded to a home in Sheboygan Falls, where they found Oliver unresponsive. Prosecutors say Hitchcock was trying to cut out her heart with a knife.
I further ask the court to order that the defendant have no unsupervised contact with any juvenile.
A witness told investigators the war between Russia and Ukraine took a toll on Hitchcock, who is from Russia. Hitchcock told police she was worried she was being sold by people on the dark web. She said the Russian government was going to take her children and abuse them. She also said people looked at her as a Russian spy. She confessed to suffocating her son.
She's also said many different statements about her mindset and thoughts at the time.
Her defense attorney says Hitchcock had no previous criminal history. Prosecutors asked the court for bond conditions, including no contact with children, and a bond amount of $1 million. The court sided with the prosecution. Now, Hitchcock's family had no comment following the hearing.
Sorry, before I was muted. So, you know, what do you guys think about, like, if someone has a mental illness, right? A complete mental illness, they have a breakdown, they truly, truly do not know what they're doing at the moment at all. They are in another world, right? Do you have more sympathy for them because of the mental health? There still has to be, you still got to go to prison because you still did it. You know what I mean? But should the prison sentence be as long? Should the prison sentence be as long? Are you guys saying no to the prison sentence should be as long? Or are you saying no excuses? Or are you saying, what are you saying? She still looks short circuit. But also, the thing about it is, a lot of people plead insanity, and that there is not, some of them are not insane even though they plead insanity. No matter life in prison, still guilty. Yeah. Vet girl, I don't know her visa status. Hold on, I've got her record here. Let's look at it. Let me show you where she lived. She lives in these apartments. Plank Trail Apartments. Built in 2019, 104 units. Monthly rent $1,045. Unit B, 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, 1,100 square feet. Monthly rent $1,321. 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 942 square feet, 1,072. 972 square feet, 1,104 per month. You have a balcony. So, this is, kind of like one of the homes that she lived in. Like a kind of a, this isn't the exact apartment, but this is. So, it's a nice little clean place, right? Russia has to get, yeah. We'll look at her record here. What is her name? Natalia H. Okay. Actually, what was her? ICU, could you send me the background for that name? That is the mother's name, if you could. If you're there, that would be good. But she is from Sheboygan, and we have the police records here. Oh, this video right here, like when she's leaving, let me find it. It's 3:37, I think it is.
She was willing to take on the.
No, wrong one. Wrong one. This press release is really sad. You can tell the police are just really bothered by this. It's really hard to do whenever there's a kid involved, right? Why is it not? Let me exit out of some of these windows. There it is. The Sheboygan Falls Police Department says, with great remorse and a heavy heart, I have to report that the victim in this case, 8-year-old Olivia Hitchcock, passed away at 2:55 p.m. Friday, April 1st, 2022, due to his injuries sustained in the assault on March 30th, 2022. So it's a little boy, Oliver. Some girls are named Oliver as well. We know that first responders of the Sheboygan Falls Orange Cross Ambulance, the doctors and the staff at St. Nicholas Hospital in Sheboygan, and Children's Hospital of Wisconsin did everything to save Oliver. With this revelation, the requested charges against Oliver's mother have been changed to include one count of first-degree intentional homicide, one count of attempted intentional homicide, a criminal complaint with more detail is expected early next week. We cannot provide any details to the second count as the Sheboygan County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation. Agencies and the details will be provided in the criminal complaint. Since the mother has not been criminally charged, we will not be releasing her name. Well, they've already released it, or they found out one. We are not looking at any other suspects in this case. Since Oliver was a student at the Sheboygan Falls Elementary School, we worked with the Sheboygan Falls School District since the night of the incident. They are prepared to offer extra staff and counselors starting Monday. We encourage parents of the district to speak with their children and ensure their mental health. On behalf of the city of Sheboygan Falls and its residents, we offer condolences and prayer to the family of Oliver Hitchcock. This tragedy is not anything any family should have to endure. We are taking steps to ensure the mental health of our first responders and officers and thank the community for their support over the past several days. I would also like to thank the Sheboygan County Sheriff's Office for their assistance in this case by Eric Miller, Chief of Police, Director of Public Safety. That's a really good press conference. I've read obviously a lot of them, and I think that they Justin, let them get out and be introduced to her grandparents, neighbors, and relatives they can sort. Yeah. Sometimes how could you not want to take justice into your own hands, right? How could you not? Let me see it. Okay, ICU is already on it. Because she's amazing. Let's see if there's anything in her report. If it tells Natalie Dawn Hitchcock report. Okay, sorry. She's 32. Yes, her husband's 34. Nothing. Location information. Okay. Well, I can tell you she's been here. What's this? Okay, so she's had some traffic violations, it looks like. And this is in 2012. So we know that she's been here since at least 2012, right? driver who was not owner must later produce proof of insurance if required. Exceed speed limit in 2021. And another traffic court, and that's S offenders in the area. So she just got traffic, which is literally nothing. I mean, most people have traffic infractions on their record, right? I know I do. Like a lot. Kind of have a lead foot. Adonis says, if a person is mentally ill, they should be treated in a mental facility, not a prison. They should be medicated and treated. I mean, honestly, if they are truly mental ill, then, they should be treated. But I think there is, I don't think it should be this posh place per se either, though. You know what I mean? But, I've always heard that people who, yes, please use abbreviations and or symbols for certain words like the S word. I've always heard that people who cry insanity and they go to like a mental facility rather than jail, that they actually end up hating it so much because, to be honest, you can't, if you're mentally okay and that you've pretended to be mentally ill, you can't really hold much of the conversation with people and stuff. It's different. You can't connect with people. So they say they really end up hating it and that they would rather go to prison. Oh, what did I miss, Rose? I say it happens to the best of us. We were all just paying extra attention. Did I miss something, Rose? I feel such a plonker. A lady in my town had her child removed falsely, and they came to return them, and she had, oh my God, just a girl. Wow. That's terrible. Robert, if they're mentally ill to the point where then they should. Okay. 4 children don't have their mother now, and people are just running around screaming while these children get pushed around. Yeah. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. 337. She just sounds. I want you guys to look at this. Like, do you think that she looks mentally ill here, or is it just because she don't got any makeup on? Just kidding.
I missed it when you said it. Is there a specific day reporting concern for monitoring?
My primary concern at this point is alcohol. I do not have the blood result back to know what potential is in her system. But
If you could hear her there, she said, "Sorry, I'm so sorry." I'll play it again so you can hear it. Listen very carefully. 3:37.
I missed it when you started. Is there a specific day reporting concern for monitoring?
My primary concern at this point is alcohol.
Could you hear it? Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's just craziness. Hold on. Does anyone have any good mouse reviews? I'm so tired of my mouse. It's always broken.
I do not have the blood result back to know what potential was in her system, but I can advise that no controlled substances were found in the home. So at this point, my primary concern is alcohol.
Day reporting will be forthwith if there's any posting of the bond.
I don't know what you're saying there.
So at this point, my primary concern is alcohol.
Day reporting will be forthwith.
This was in her system, but I can advise that no controlled substances were found in the home. So at this point, my primary concern is alcohol.
Day reporting.
Does anybody know what you said? Precious. Oh God, here comes Mr. Mittens. He's going to be really loud. I'm sorry. Scroll up, Justin. Precious. All right. Okay, Mittens, please go. Her arrest record. Okay. I got it, Mittens. You'll have to. It won't let me play. It won't let me select it there. I'm sorry,
Will
Precious.
be forthwith if there's any posting of the bond. Or we are
Look when they're taking her out. Oh, hold on. Let me find it.
Yeah, I'll have her come back.
Shh.
Can I have the complaint on that? This case, we're gonna recall.
I mean, are these people just so evil? Or, man, how can you do that to your kid? My kitty understands your kitty. Oh, that's true. That's a true thing, in my opinion, too, Deals. If she apologized, she knew it was wrong. Can't claim insanity. That's, yeah. Anchor 2.4 ergonomic mouse available on Amazon. I'm going to write that down. Okay. All right. If anybody wants to come up, they're welcome to. Just need you to show your face behind the chat in the back room. You do not have to sow vodka, but no drugs in home. Right. I have so many I can tell you. It just Justin's cat. Now Barry is hanging from the TV. You have a lot of kitties? I don't know. He's just now hitting puberty right now, little Mittens, and he's about to get little snippies. I think he's so I feed some cats that show up at my house, and then I try to go get them fixed and stuff, but we have a cat that just you would, I mean, yeah, that could be possible, miss. You would apologize, wouldn't you, even if you're insane at the time? Generally, from what I understand, the courts don't see it that way. You catch feral cats on your property and have them fixed and their ears tipped. Yeah. I just throw food outside. I buy food. I don't just throw food, and I build them little houses of the winter. And I try to go get some of them fixed when they have like this discounted spay session every couple times a year. But in the spring, we call it kitten season. I pray no cats spray. Oh my God, if this cat sprays, it'll be spraying outside. I can tell you that. I'm not going to have that. My husband would probably fall on the floor and die. All right. Does anybody want to come up? If not, I'm going to listening to Bob. No problem. Yeah, I think most towns they do like this spay and neuter thing. Oh, coexist. I am positive he's a boy because you can see his little jewels on the back just rubbing together. Our males fixed, no spraying. That's why I want to have this done ASAP because it's will so he doesn't spray. Hello, Hopi. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I
I
do
just
that
stopped by
too.
to
What's that?
I just stopped by to say hey. I was late. I didn't see the thing, but I know what you're talking about with the subject you were
Jules.
talking about, waterboarding.
Heather says jewels. She likes what I call their little jewels.
I had a cat before, and I thought it was a girl, and I got it all pink, everything. And then I had a after party at mine years ago, and a
Uh-huh.
farmer. My friend was going out with a farmer,
Uh-huh.
and he came by and he said, "Your cat's got balls."
Oh
I was
God.
like, and I was like, I thought it was a swollen nun. I just thought, I really did.
Now, what does the British? What did you say? What do you call it? A swollen
Nun,
nun?
nunny, nunny, nun,
Nunny?
nunny,
Nunny.
nun, Noon. Or what I when my daughter was little, it was floof,
Floof.
floof,
Floof.
floof.
Oh my God, floof. It's just so interesting to me, to watch, we name things, in different
Yeah.
cultures.
Oh my God, people! I was talking about trainers the other day. No one knew what I was talking about. It's sneakers.
Yeah,
Sneakers
yeah,
are
yeah,
we call
yeah.
them trainers.
Yes.
But I had Queen Nessie, she's one of Dolly's people. She's from
Oh, okay, got you that, Dolly. Yeah.
she's Geordie, but she lives in Scotland where your sister
Uh-huh.
lives. So she's got a Geordie slash Scottish. So
Right.
it's just brilliant to me. And because even people think me and Susan talk the same, but we don't because we're from
Right.
completely different places. It's the same as in America, you've got different areas. So even over here, we've got different words for things,
Well,
between.
my sister, she teaches at Glasgow.
Yes, I
And
remember.
yeah, she's been there a long time now. And so I knew the trainers because
Yes,
she came here and she's so Scottish now, and
and your
she's like
nephew.
the trainers. Oh, what my nephew, he was was born in Scotland, so he's a little Scotty,
I love
he's
it.
a little Scotty. So when all the family gets together here, we have kids that have like a Pakistani English accent, and we have
Mm.
kids that have a Scottish accent, and we have American kids that have an American accent, so it's really,
I love it.
it's
Diverse.
very, it's very
I
diverse.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you eat haggis?
Do I what?
Do you eat
I,
do you eat haggis? Haggis? Do you know what
I don't
haggis
even,
is?
it sounds like something I
Haggis?
don't eat. I'll tell you that, sis.
It's intestines. It's
Oh
intestines, and
God,
they cook it.
the sheep,
They
the
put
sheep.
Yes, Scottish put it on their breakfast.
Yes, yes. I
They
do
do it
not
all.
eat that.
They do it. They in a lot of cafes in England. They do it, and it's black.
Oh, really? Now, we call that. Hello, Tracy. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you doing, Tracy?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going
This
on?
is, oh my gosh, hearing this. These people that murder these children and then claim mental illness. I can't get over this.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I was a single mom with 4 children, okay? And I'm talking that's stressful, especially
Mm,
when 2 were 11 months apart, like
right.
you with twins. Okay, I can understand that. The thought of hurting my child? No,
Don't get it.
no, no,
Don't
no,
get it.
no, no. And now I'm raising 2 grandchildren that are
Wow.
my world. Uh-uh.
Go you.
You
Go
go good,
you.
good, Tracy. Um, yeah. There's a lot of grandparents raising their grandchildren right now.
I don't know
I
what
love
it
it.
is. I
I
don't know
mean,
if it's. I
good.
don't know if it's drugs anymore, or I don't know what it is. I don't know
It's
if
a
it's.
combination. I mean, there's different things, but like my next door neighbor, she works for CPS, right? And she is raising her grandchild.
Mm,
Even,
there's a lot of people now raising their grandchildren,
yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know if it's environmental. We've got so much toxicity now. We raise it. I don't know. I hate that I'm raising a child in it. How can
yeah,
you? How can you not?
yeah.
Um, all we can do is re-educate our next generation. That's all we can do is learn from what we've messed up on and re-educate. That literally, there's nothing else we can do. I don't know what else there is to do. And hope that our next generation raises a better generation, because clearly we've fucked up. Like, we've clearly fucked up. Um,
I think a lot of it is, I mean, ultimately, addiction, it boils down to us as a person and
mm,
a deep-seated emotional trauma, but also a lot of it has to do with doctors who prescribe this stuff.
yes, yeah, and I think doctors are really learning, even with the painkiller crisis you've got over there. We have really strict rules on our pain relief over here. We cannot
I
get
know.
really strong pain relief.
My sister, she can't even, you can only get so many ibuprofen.
Yeah, yeah, we can't buy loads of paracetamol either.
I know. She's like, I can only get like
Like,
20 ibuprofen every so often or something.
yeah,
And I'm like, I go to Sam's Club here. We have a thing, it's a bulk place. And I get her like 900 ibuprofen to stick
yeah,
with.
we have like my medication, because I'm on a lot, I can only pick it up every week. I
Yeah.
cannot get more than a week's worth. And I think if the US starts adopting some of them, and they are changing their stuff there, they're putting a lot more drugs under controlled drugs. Even I was shocked when I was on gabapentin for the fibromyalgia,
Hmm.
and I hated being on it. That got put in a controlled drug
Yes,
because
it's
people
controlled here now.
abuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it I think I'm kind of great. Sometimes I'm annoyed because I'm in so much goddamn pain, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had the pain relief the Americans
Sure.
do. But then I'm also grateful there's a safety net here. We don't, unless people go out their way to abuse things,
Hmm.
um, then they do. But I'm hoping that America changes their laws for you
Hmm.
guys over there, because it is a pandemic, isn't it? at the end of the day. It really is.
Cindy, I have actually talked to her about the body cams, and personally, from what she tells me, she is absolutely for it because it protects the worker. It protects, I think it will ultimately change the system as well, that it won't all boil down onto the CPS worker, because obviously there's some workers who are crap, but there's also laws that they are restricted to, and they have to follow the law, whether they personally agree with them or disagree with them. You know what I mean? So they have guidelines that they have to follow. So I think
I think
it's a
it's
good way to
amazing.
change the system.
I think because we over here, what the problem is with our system is they're taking too many children away from people that shouldn't have it. Whereas over there, they're not taking enough, or they're not doing it soon enough. And I think because you've got such a big country over there, I think cameras would be the first step in the way forward, and the easiest step for them to monitor.
It can be done like literally overnight, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It changed policing. If you look at how it changed policing, it will do the same with CPS.
You're welcome, Carrie. Tracy, you got an opinion on that?
Here, I know CPS, which we have where I'm from, it's called DCFS. So when you say CPS, a lot of times I think of Chicago Public School System.
Oh, I'm
That's their
sorry.
initial.
Well, I'm
But
sure that needs fixed too, doesn't it? So,
but here, I'm telling you, they fail left and right here too. It's not just, certain areas. I mean, we just had like that AJ friend.
yeah.
The mom is now trying to claim mental illness now. No, I'm sorry. And these people went into the home and it was as bad, if not worse, than, sorry to say, Ben Hill. They literally tore the house down, and they're doing nothing with the property. It's going to stay blank.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've even when I way back. I mean, come on, my baby's 25 now. My oldest is in his 30s. Because at the time I was a single mom and I was needing help and I applied for public aid, they had to do a check of the home and stuff.
Right.
And because I had such a clean home, even though I had 2 children at home, one was in school when they came for a visit, and I was pregnant with my 4th. But because my home was so clean, they denied me everything because they said I didn't have children that lived in my home. Even though I had kids running around. I couldn't get help, nothing, begging for it. But then you've got these people here that they go into the home and they're horrible and they get all this help and stuff. But you could see they are doing drugs or they're drinking and stuff. And then I'm like, are there no standards with
this
CPS?
is America?
There's no they need to have standards. People that live like some of these cases that we hear about, I don't want to keep repeating where it is. You go in once and it's horrid. You know what? By the time I get back here, it better be fixed. If not, guess what?
Right. Exactly.
Here.
This is, what I've always wondered in our country, that in my opinion, the people who are trying to do better, live better, work, and they just need that extra little push for help.
Yeah.
But they can't do it because if they do, their medical gets taken away or their food gets taken away.
Yes.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, these are the people that we need to be rewarding, in my opinion. because they're trying to do something with their lives. They're trying to get off of the system. They just need it for a little bit so they can, get ahead a little bit.
That's what I would tell them. I would tell them, please help me get daycare
Yes.
so I can get a job. No, you don't have your own income coming in, so therefore we cannot provide you with daycare.
Yes.
Okay, but I can't afford to pay for daycare
Right.
to
You're
do
just
this myself. I said, just give me a week, 1 week, and I will have a job.
right.
Just help me with my children for 1 week.
Yeah. Which is more than fair. Freak. I mean,
They've,
God,
they've
it's more.
changed it in the UK to do that. Thank God they finally changed it in the UK. But if you need help, so instead of disability money, they've changed it to PIC, which is personal independent payment. So not only it covers people with mental health, but say you can work, but you need a bit extra help because you have illness, you can get PIP and work. Then there's extra if you can't work. If you can work a certain amount of time, but you can't pay all your rent, they give you a top up because it wasn't working before, just giving money out, giving money out. So now they have just started adapting it, and they've brought out a thing. It's not good for everyone. Like I hate it, but there's universal credit now, so people universally have the same thing. It's not just if you have this, if you have that, you
Yeah.
get help, and you get, depending on what help you need, is the amount of help you need.
Yes. Impala Queen says, I agree. I went to work part-time, only making about $600 a month working. They took over 500 in food stamps, and I had to pay 150 a month in health insurance. So I was working for what I got free. Yeah. And it's BS. It's BS, in my opinion, because you should be rewarding those who are not. If you're truly disabled, it's a whole different story. You know what I mean? But if you are able to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get off, make them work. Make them work.
I think there's certain jobs. I hope this isn't too controversial, but I think even the world should even have an island to send all the PSOs type
Yes.
people on one place. They can earn their own food, they can be in one place, we don't have to worry about them, guard the
Right.
island, everyone in the world. And I think it's the same, like if our countries could all learn from each other instead of having different things, maybe we could progress more, because we've all got something to learn from each other's countries. Because there's some country, like my family's Norwegian, and I kind of wish I went there when my daughter was young, because I had an opportunity, because they pay you to stay home with your children to raise your children properly if there's only one parent.
Right.
There's so much we could learn from each other's countries, and
Absolutely.
I don't know why we don't do it, because it could be, well, we could make the world a better place at the end of the day. It's not something small, we could really make it a better place.
Jan says, had emergency surgery on my spine. Now have lumbar spinal stenosis, damaged bladder, and other problems. Sorry, Jan.
Sorry, Jan.
But if a lot of people, they don't work because they make a certain amount that the government gives them, and if they go work, they're going to, just like Impala was talking about, they're going to take away their food or their health
Yeah,
care.
you're
Well,
worse off.
if you don't have health care and you're on 50 different medicines, or have got a lot of different medicines rather, well, you have to have your medicines. There's no way in humanly possible, because in America our medicines are ridiculous.
I know. I'm so grateful we have NHS. I
Yes.
really am so grateful we have NHS.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if I feel like if we can have it, I know you've got a much bigger country there, but if we can have it, why can't you get a system there? That's similar.
I'll tell you one word: profit.
Yeah, you have so many murders because of what's it called? Life insurance policies. Yeah. If you just life insurance policies alone, that would discount the murders. We do not have any murders for life insurance policies because we don't have them.
Yeah,
I've got a life insurance policy because my grandfather was a financial advisor.
right,
And that's the only reason, because my mum was a single parent. We
right.
don't really have them here unless you go out your way to have them, but you have to have them there. You have to have health insurance. It's insane. It's really insane. It's like, oh, we've got loads of problems, but we're not going to do anything about the problems. Really?
Yes,
It,
it's insanity.
we've just got sugar tax on things, and that's sugar. Have you got a sugar tax there now as well, or not?
In big cities, we do. Like
We've
in I
got it
think in New
everywhere
York
now.
City. I think in like
It's
New York City and places like that, and they're making the sugar drinks smaller and all of
We
that.
have it on ridiculous stuff. I understand sugar tax with obesity and everything, but we've got it on ridiculous things, and it's crazy. It's made it so expensive for living. And even when I was raising my daughter alone, she loved fresh fruit and water, and it was more expensive for me to cook. I only ever cooked homemade food, and she never had processed food. She never had any of that, and it was
Yeah.
more expensive for me to live doing homemade food than if I bought her processed
Yes.
food.
And it's more expensive and it's more expensive to live and eat clean than it is to eat filthy.
Yes, yeah. What is it's like when I had to take her to hospital because she was having fits. She drank loads of water. She wouldn't drink juice, and then she had problems with her teeth because she ate fruit. And I'm like, so my daughter doesn't eat sweet. She only wants fruit. She doesn't want juice. She wants water, and that's a problem. What do I do?
You have to feed them.
It's
1 month of
crazy.
Humira is $6,400, Kelly says, and you have to have the Humira, obviously, because if you got
What's Humira?
it's like an autoimmune drug. It's I think it suppresses
Oh, is that for lupus?
what's that?
Is it for lupus or is it just an autoimmune one? We call different drugs different things over here. It's crazy. I don't
Yeah,
know why we have different.
I don't know. Because I worked a half decent job, I made 8.32 too much. $8.32 too much. No food stamps, no daycare, housing, utilities. I am disabled. I get nothing except my disability check and Medicare. I'm so sorry, Glenda. It's really unfair. I agree, Elizabeth. Best comment of the day. We need idiot tax.
Yeah, we
Freaking
do. Put it on the bloody government first, please. Put it on the politicians first.
Yes. If my son wasn't on Medicaid, he would not be able to afford his bipolar medication. I just went up to $1,500 a month. It's insane. Yeah.
I saw it was called, God damn my memory. It
Rheumatoid
was
arthritis. Yeah.
there was okay. Yeah, my brother has that. Luckily he has free. But it was a Mental Health America, and in some cities now they've got specific police forces that are mental health trained to deal with there was a lot of people on it that had bipolar and couldn't afford the medication, or schizophrenia and couldn't afford the medication. And because even in the UK, even though we have free medication, we still have the police force taking up the slack for the mental health crisis. And in America, it's worse. And now they're creating teams in different cities to deal with those people properly instead of getting guns and tasers out and making it worse. They've got specially trained people, and these teams know the same people. So when they get the call, they know the person, they know what to do. And it's the same thing. I wish they did it everywhere. When something goes right, I don't know why they're not blueprinting when it goes right and putting it and spreading it out. It's beyond me.
Well, that would make sense. That's the problem. That would make sense. And they don't like sense and this kind of stuff.
No, we've got idiots. We've got idiots as politicians
Yes.
all over the world.
Exactly. It's all good says at just a girl. I find out what my mom started taking. She was only 2 shots a day and now nothing. Also try GoodRx Gold. That's a very good program. By the way, my meds were cheaper than my insurance will pay. And I have used GoodRx Gold, and sometimes I can get my medicine cheaper than with my insurance as well. It's very true. My father-in-law, who passed away a little bit over a year ago, he had lung cancer. He never smoked, never drank or anything
Was
like
that
that.
that
Very
was on
healthy.
my husband's birthday, wasn't it?
My husband's birthday. Yes, he died. And he took a drug, I think it was called Trigresso. Um, Wonderful drug, 1 pill a day. Um, and it gave him about an extra good year and a half, 2 years. But it was $16,000 a month for 30 pills.
Oh my God.
$16,000 a month for 30 pills. Thankfully, we were extremely fortunate that the drug company sent it to him free as long as he would volunteer for the research of it or whatever.
Yeah, we did it with my grandma that had MS. She helped the Cambridge University over here because she had
Yes.
MS, and so she was entitled to all the first dibs on medication. And we donated when she passed away. We donated her stem cells, and because of her, we found out MS is hereditary, 20%. Because
Yeah.
before that, they didn't think it was. Um, I I just find it heartbreaking that people have to choose between money and health. At the end of the day, I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, whenever you
Um,
get a lump in your breast and you lose, you have to file for bankruptcy, there's a problem. There's a
There's
problem.
something really wrong. You're in isn't America one of the most wealthiest places in the world?
We are the wealthiest place in the world.
Right,
And
beyond
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Crazy,
yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Well, I'm gonna drop down, Justin, and I just
Okay.
want to pop up. And
Thank
it
you
was
for
lovely.
coming out. Take care, dear.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah. Take care. Um, yeah, it is crazy. Hopefully it'll change. Some MS drugs are 60,000 a month. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I get we have to pay for research and everything, but if there's a drug out there that can help a person for their illness, it should be a human right. You shouldn't have to be, you know, to sell your house or anything to, yeah. You were on fentanyl patches. Yes, my father-in-law was on fentanyl patches. I volunteer for hospice, and did a lot of the we do a lot of the fentanyl patches. So, and the EpiPens. Did you remember that story a few years ago when this rich buffoon bought the EpiPen brand or whatever, and it was the EpiPen and like an HIV medication, and he like tripled them or ridiculous amount, and it was a huge story. Yeah, yeah, he really. I think he ended up in jail, if I'm correct. He's like a freaking billionaire or something. But it was. I am very lucky, Australia, for nightly payment from the government that covers all my medication and needs. I just can't afford to live on my own anymore as rent has gone up too high. I'm glad that they pay for your medications and your needs. That's good. Good for you, Sparkle. Thank God. Yeah. And insulin. Absolutely. I don't know how we got on the medication conversation, but we needed to talk about it. It just did. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I hope you guys have a great evening. There wasn't a lot of people live earlier. I don't know what was up. I guess everybody's taking a day off from the chaos of the last few days in the true crime community. But keep on keeping on. Keep your head above water, and it'll all be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end, right? Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And let's hope that, this mental illness is treated in this country, and that the abuse goes down, and that we hold these people accountable. The first story, she got a $50,000 bond. That's like, if you get caught with like too much weed, a $50,000 bond, or something, right? It's ridiculous. Not for waterboarding a child, you know what I mean? It's just insanity. So, all right, guys, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me. You too, Diane. All right, guys, thank you. Justice is coming, Jen. Amen. God bless. Good night.